grinding the coal. 4 inmates per cell. They run 2 12-hour shifts. 2 men in the mines, 2 men in the cell.
They work 6 days a week. They got Sunday off. Because I remember when I was a young boy, I used to be able to dump to sleep. They had approximately 1,100 inmates here working the mines.
They had a coal tonnage that they had to meet. And if they did not meet their coal tonnage, then out on the inner yard there, they had what they call the stropping post.
See, they used to whip these prisoners with a leather strap, about a 1/4 inch thick leather.
They would tie the inmate to the stropping post.
Lay a guy down and pull his bridges down. That was outlawed.
In 66, that's when they had the hostages in the mines. They cut this one inmate's head off, laid him on a coal car and rolled it out and said, there's his head, the rest of him down there. They closed the mines, quit mining. Society started getting a little tamer, I guess you call it.
The information I have about the graveyard was passed down to me from my grandfather through my daddy. Up until 1970, there was several fieldstones over the graves. The first inmate to be buried over there was about 1896. Most of them 400 inmates, they were all either killed by the dagger or in the coal mines, died by disease, or they were shot down while escaping from the old prison. My grandfather, William Cox, brought the first load of inmates into Brushy Mountain Prison in 1896. And then my daddy went to work up here at a very young age. So I was born and raised here in Petros and raised in and out of Brushy Mountain Prison. The early prisons, according to my grandfather, was run by the toe of the shoe and a shotgun. It was a very violent prison. The convicts were very violent toward each other.
It wasn't no church.
The first couple of years, it was strict. You had discipline. When I first went to work here in 68, they stole, robbed, raped. The first stabbing was up on the yard. I worked 32 years at Brushy Mountain State Prison here, and I started in 1968, October. Through the years, I was up and down in rank, sergeant, captain, cell 1, correctional officer 1. Security mostly was my job. They had killing in the dining room. They stabbed him, and the blood was flying everywhere. Went in the potatoes on the food line, everything. When we got the one done it, took him, locked him up, took the body out, and cleaned the dining room up, kept feeding. So it was pretty vicious killing. Back from security block over there called D block. It was a lock-up block. They called from Nashville and said, clean D block out, we got some inmates coming in trouble making it. That's when the problem started. And it wasn't long after that, they took a hostage over there.
Some inmates took an officer hostage over in D block. That was the maximum security part here at that time. They cut out their cells.
I was an acting captain. I was put in charge to take the block back.
They kept the hostage all day. They were rough characters. He was telling us all day he's killing the first one coming up there. I know one inmate swung a lock and a sock around his head all day.
Ray Tucker, he was a doorman. His job was to go in first and cut the cheap inmates on both sides up, had clubs, table legs.
I'd been assigned to cut the sheets. They had 2 doors tied at the top of the step. I had a knife in the hand and a .45 automatic pistol in the other one, and one knife in my pocket.
You got a weapon, take him down, you know. And the last thing you want to do is kill him there, take a life. Circumstances, you have to do that too.
My job was nobody come through this door. Nobody. You shoot them. There's no choice. All officers went in there, and all the inmates that took the hostage was piled up on him under a bunk. They said they were all protecting him, you know, keep him getting hurt. If they hurt that officer bad, if they hurt him, there would be some horrible things happening up there. But it didn't, and we took the hostage back, and of course he told us who done what to him all day. Penitentiary is not for everybody. No way, no how. It's a different world up here. Every day could be a life or death situation. I came to work at Brushy Mountain May the 14th, 1964. I stayed here till sometime in the summer of 1980. Hired in here as a security officer. Stayed about a year, and they created a recreation department. I spent a lot of years here, a lot of days, and a lot of times it was pretty rough going. Prison closed down some labor problem in 1972, and it opened up in 76.
I was on a night shift when the strike took place, and I got up, came to work, and there was nobody here except a few highway patrolmen.
But it was during the summer that we would go and we would hang out with the guys on the picket line.
The guards just refused to come back to work. And I never did find out exactly what happened. I thought they would eventually come back to work, and I believe they would have. Or have to move them and send these inmates to Nashville. And I knew it was going to devastate a lot of families in our communities.
Because the prison's been here forever. And so families would come to work here, 2 and 3 generations of all these families that live around here. I mean, that's all they are around this area here, prison work. I started working here in October 1st, 1976. I worked here for 32 years until I transferred to Morgan County. You know, I never knew that it was going to slowly get into my head that I was going to be an officer. I was just a young, dumb officer. Woke up when I come to work here. I was 18 years old when he escaped, and we don't know anything about manhunt.
James Earl Ray escaped June 7, 1977.
What his charges was, he assassinated Martin Luther King.
Nobody there thought anything about a convict escaping.
Usually when they blew the whistle, you had to escape you, you had a long whistle. Then they go toot, toot, toot. If it's 3 toots, you had 3 inmates, you had one inmate.
There was about 200 inmates out on the ball field. They began hooting and hollering, and a fake fight took place. I mean, they were knocking people around.
After supper, when they come out for evening recreation, they had a ladder that they put together, but different inmates carried different sections out, and they got together up toward the wall, and they put it together.
But once out of that gang comes 7 inmates with old Ray.
He was gone 54 hours.
If it had an I in it, CIA, FBI, TBI, they was here. Helicopters hovering all over the town.
Nobody noticed. Everybody's attention was on the big fake ride. As soon as they went.
Petros Come Alive was June of 1977.
When you come in here, you just have to leave the outside world out there. It was a maximum security prison. You had the worst here. And it was strict, yes. They would con you, and they was convicted. They'd con you if they could, but you had to be firm with them. There were quite a few stabbings here and death. I mean, they had their own laws, prison laws, I guess you'd call it. I just worked everywhere here. Red building, white building, B block, A block. Then I went on transportation. We'd transfer prisoners. We'd go pick them up from the jails. We'd bring them here. We'd take them to court.
If you wasn't scared, you was of danger because you was not paying attention. You've got my life in your hands and I've got your life in my hands.
Now you want to be careful before you run up there. And I said, you run in on a murder while it's happening. I said, they got no control. I said, they lose the adrenaline moving. And they allow them stabbing off with it.
We had to rely on each other to maintain your sanity. Seeing somebody stabbed, seeing a dead body stomped to death. It's a mental job, 110%. Snap of the finger, you're facing life or death.
A young officer working here on the block there, they heard a scuffle up there and he run upstairs, see what's going on. They picked him up, threw him down the stairway, and they cut his jugular and the blood was hitting the wall every time he breathed.
I was in the gym, running the gym, and it closed, and they were going in for supper count. And the warden come running by and said, "Ray, there's been a sticking in the dining room. That's a stabbing." You would not believe the amount of blood that was there. So I got down on my knees, hands and knees, and we wallowed that inmate around. And they had stabbed him all over. They were cutting up chicken, and 2 inmates jumped him. One of his arms was hanging by a thread. They chopped him with a meat cleaver. The other one had a knife, and they stabbed him clean through. And when they moved him, his whole back just fell apart. It was absolutely awful. I told the warden, I said, if this one don't die, the one never will. When I got up, I've got blood from my nose to my toes. I'm absolutely, totally soaked in blood. If you can't do some things like that, you can't stay here. You get hardened to it.
Over 100 years, it's been a lot of people, families, had jobs, kept the community going.
In January of '09, I think it really started sinking in on a lot of us. We're closing you down. It's like being thrown out of your home.
I grew up with this. We'd been around convicts all our lives, around this prison. I was very disappointed to see it go. It's a part of the community.
I'll tell you, when you've done this for 30 years of my life, I grew up in this place, and this is what I know. These people I work with are family. They're my brothers and sisters. I really hated the thought that this was going to close. When the last bus left the prison with all the inmates, and then all the guards came out at the end of shift, pulled my car on the basketball court, and I just never dreamed that I'd ever have a free world car on that court. Nobody's here. It's a ghost town. That is reality that I just didn't see coming.
So this is a section James Earl Ray escaped from Brushy Mountain Prison. And just right over there was a guard. checks. Alright guys, I'm going to give you a 360-degree view of the yard here. Guys, this looks like an old outdoor basketball court. It's on the back side of the building here. Look like you might have some bars here to do some lift up on, chin ups. Here's your basketball goals. More chin ups, more chin ups. If I don't bust my ass. Another basketball goal. And we got some cameras over here. Kind of creepy back here. Ain't nobody back here. Ain't nobody back here. Some cameras. Old cameras. Let's see what's back here. Oh Lord. Old jail cells. Old section. There's some doors with letters on them over there. Alright guys, here's another cell block. Nobody's coming back in here for some reason. I don't know if they think you can't, or if I'm somewhere you're not supposed to go. Anyway, I'm getting some footage. Alright guys, here's the gym. D block, the bad section. Old sink. Not much room in these guys. Dang. Where's this go? There's a yard. Huh. Old plumbing. There was something I want to look at back. Oh, what in the world? I missed this. The Dale Earnhardt sale.
But they went in that sign up there.
Minimum security sale.